Right now. Hello, Instagram. And I'm going to be talking to Jade from Small Business Growth Club today about how to magnetically attract your audience with your personal brand. So, I'm Emma Lovell. I'm a personal branding coach. I don't think I've been doing that. I assume that everyone knows. So, here on LinkedIn, I am Emma Lovell from Lovely Communications, and Instagram, I'm at Lovely Comms. Same person everywhere. Hi, Carly. And I'm a personal branding coach. I help female leaders to show up and make an impact. I help them to shine, to share who they are, and to attract their audience magnetically, to be a magnet, to be a glittery, shiny magpie magnet. I'm just going to close the window because it's a bit windy here. There we go. That might help with sound. Hi. And today I'm going to have Jade from Small Business Growth Club come on. Now, whenever I speak, I'm here in Australia on the Gold Coast, and I like to pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. They're the Bundjalung people of the Yagambeh language region, and I recognise their ongoing commitment to the land, waterways and skies. I feel honoured and privileged to be on this land. I'm going to welcome in my special guest. I don't know how this is going to work for LinkedIn, but I'm having Jade come on, and it's going to record today, Jade. Because last time we had technical issues.
Hi, Beauty. How are you? That was beautiful. Thank you for doing that. That was lovely.
Yeah, I think it's really important here in Australia, and for people who are watching from overseas to understand that why that's something really important to us here. And I feel privileged to get to do it. So tell us about you. Who are you?
I'm Jade. I'm the founder of Small Business Growth Club, and Em and I have been recently collaborating on our most amazing personal branding shoots. And it is a match made in heaven because you are a personal branding expert. You know all about the strategies that people need to take to, get to know their story and to explore it more deeply. And I know all about posing in front of the camera, about, the outfits, the movements. And really together we're working so beautifully, I think, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, no, people are like, you guys, like, we really technically only met like July, I think.
Yeah,
and
a Business Chicks networking event. Shout out to Business Chicks, like bringing
we
women
love
together.
business. Absolutely, we love Business Chicks. We'll be doing some things with them soon, so watch this space. But
That's
we
right.
were at a networking event and we heard about each other, seen each other. I see a lot more of Jade. And then, it was like, oh, okay, you like a bit of color, you like a bit of fun, you like to make women feel amazing and help them show up and shine. Me too. Let's do something.
Me too. Game recognizes
Yes.
game. And I think that, when you are energetic and you put yourself out there, then stuff just happens. Stuff comes to you and you don't have to work that hard to make money. That's the interesting thing, isn't it? When you are energetically aligned, well, that's the name of the game. And I love how you do that personally, and then you help others with your clients to get that alignment in their personal kind of branding, the way they're pitching themselves, the way they're showing up in their photography, so the way they're looking on their website. I think that's the name of the game. Hi,
Absolutely.
getting so many nice comments.
We
BTG says you are
are.
both amazing. Oh, thank you for joining us. It's lovely to see you. What a dynamic duo, says Beck had a content. We appreciate you for jumping in on this live. I always love hearing from people. Ooh, back with the sequins. So good.
Yeah, and it's so fun. Yeah, and you do such a great job as well. Like when we're together, asking me like, what's the story we're telling? Because I think people think you just turn up and the photographer is going to do all the work. The photos, they just like take the photo of me. And it's like, but if you're just going to stand there and be like, what does that say? It's like, what are we trying to tell them? And you can tell them through your eyes. Like you can, your photo can speak volumes. And what we can do is we can build trust before they even get in the room with us. So having photos on your website, having photos on your socials, it's all well and good. But if those photos could be doing so much more work for you, those videos could do so much more work for you if you know what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Why are you doing
straight up? Like straight up easy win is your bio photo on Instagram. Like, is it a nice clear photo of your face and shoulders with a colored backdrop behind? Or, for you personally, and you've got a bright colored outfit that really instantly brands you in your branded colors.
Someone took an amazing photo.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, like if you're trying to post on Instagram and get all content and get traction and nothing's happening, change your bio, babe. Change your bio, change the world. Like this is how it happens. It happens with very small kind of pixel changes, kind of every kind of day kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm working with in my academy at the minute, and I'm working with such sophisticated business people, and then I ask them to reflect on their bio photo. Does this represent you? Does it showcase the messaging you're trying to tell? And half of them were like, no, it's kind of like obscured, or it's a different color, or it was taken
Or it's
ages
like
ago,
this.
or it's like, yep, corporate,
Yeah,
right?
I'm a professional.
And it's such an easy win. If you expect people to come and follow you, well, you got to show up with a bio photo that's attractive and representative of who you are and what you have to offer them. So super easy win for anyone tuning in. BTG Immigration, you have a lovely bio photo because it's clearly your head and shoulders with your blue background behind you. And we love you. I need lots of picture lessons from you, the pro Jade. BTG, we are going to hang out together. I am in awe of your business. So BTG helps kind of immigrants with the application process. And I know that it's such a convoluted process. And I also know it is an industry in a space where, there are a lot of people who really need your help. So I really appreciate your business. I really appreciate how you are always reaching and learning to grow in your business to try and help more people. And I think that's something that Em and I appreciate as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, your profile picture on LinkedIn as well. I think look at all your channels. One of the first things I recommend is going and doing a little brand audit. So just go and look with just objectively, just go and don't be judgy of yourself, but just go and have a look at how you're currently showing up. And like, is that me right now? Is somebody going to see my picture and then go, oh, that's Emma? Like, we went to an event the other day, like I think I was telling you, I went to Movers and Breakers conference with business chicks, and some of the photos, oh my God, I could not have picked those people out in the room. Did not know who they were because their photos were like this, or like, so like, ha ha ha. Like, I was like, well, who are you? Like, you want a profile picture needs to really demonstrate who you are. My personal one probably is not correct at the moment because it's my wedding photo, so it's like, who's the person in this? Is it me or is it my husband? Like, your profile
I noticed
picture
that on your Facebook. Your Facebook is different, right? Are you going to update that, or what's the plan?
My Instagram, my lovely M one. Yeah, it's me and my husband. So I'm going to change that. But yes, it's it should be you. And so for your business eventually, I used to have my logo. Now it's me.
Now it's you. I did too. So we're having a lot of questions here. Thank you guys for joining us, and also for your great questions. So a lot of people are asking about, what if you're a product-based business? Should you have your logo? Yes, you can absolutely have your logo if it is more appropriate for a product-based business. I totally get that. You just want to make sure that it's clear when it is shrunk down to, 10 by pixels by 10 pixels. And sometimes we can go for a logo treatment that, isn't as clear, that loses the clarity when it gets smaller. Or it's kind of like using a different kind of branding color that perhaps not your main branding color when they go on your feed. Those things where your logo and your profile picture, they're like a promise, right? And then when people click through to your account, you should be delivering on that promise throughout your content and throughout your feed. And that is how you lead people down your funnel towards that sale at the end. These are all concrete actions you can take for a very strategic and deliberate purpose, which is to make sales. And if you are on Instagram and you're posting lots of content, you're not seeing the results, well, maybe you've got a leaky bucket. And maybe these things that we're mentioning could be just a way, rather than creating more and more content, which I feel like everyone feels like we're on a treadmill of content. Instead of creating more, maybe you can plug those holes in your bucket and actually create less, and yet get more people down to the bottom of the funnel with you. So thank you all so much for your questions. And to answer, yes, you can use a logo if that is appropriate for your product business. But I do think that a couple of logos I'm seeing here, I'm not calling out anyone specifically, but they're not as clear as what I would like to identify in a logo. Some of you
when
are,
it's like,
some of
it's big. Yeah.
and it's tiny.
And it's about
some of you can DM me afterwards.
It's that consistency, isn't it? Like, I love when people are like, I see this post and I'm like, oh, that's Emma straight away. Or like, I know your color. I'm like, oh, that's Jade. Like, even the fact that you're using the similar fonts all the time, or, like showing up pretty consistently with your jumpsuits, like you go, okay, yeah, cool. I've seen that. Straight away, it's like a little trigger to go, oh, this is that person I want to keep watching, or I want to keep connecting. I know who they are. You don't want people going, like, taking a beat and then going, oh, it's Emma talking. Oh, okay. Like,
consistency.
And you can create a consistency.
And yeah, exactly. If you expect, if you you want people to, you want them to buy from you straight away, but it's like, if they don't know you, they're not going to buy from you. If they can't recognize you, they're not going to buy from you. If they are confused, like you're showing up in all different ways every single different day, like the algorithm won't know you as well. So I think a lot of people, ascribe to the algorithm this, like, the algorithm hates me, but the algorithm just can't tell what the heck you're up to because you're doing something different every single day, right?
You got to try something for a little while and then go, you know what, it's not working. Okay, let's try it up a little bit. You know, we're not saying change your profile picture daily. It's like, try this for a while. Okay, it's not really happening. Let's
That's
tweak
true.
it. Let's tweaks. Like you said, with the photos, we don't, photo shoots, people think like, it's like, bah,
Oh yeah.
bah, 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 bah,
Yeah.
bah. It's like,
Yeah.
it's actually like, yeah,
Completely changes
millimeters,
the shot. Yeah,
millimeters,
millimeters. That was
millimeters.
one of the biggest things that we reiterated again and again at our photo shoot on the weekend, was exactly what you said. It's like it's a parallel with branding, isn't it? It's like setting yourself up in the position and then like just doing little variations on the thing that works. Like 90% is already perfect. You don't need to reinvent the square or go and do anything crazy. You just need to reiterate and iterate within that 90%. You know what I mean? Keep that stable and then, you know, explore with that 10% you've got. And that's what will draw people to you. They will be attracted towards your consistency and the fact that they know you, understand you, feel safe with you, all those kinds of things. So I love that everyone's joined. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Emma. She's the most amazing personal branding expert. She has a launch on at the moment. You should, whatever she's got, you should go grab it, because this lady will light up your life. You should follow her for starters. Following her is, you know, for free. So definitely follow Miss M. And otherwise, you want to talk us through your launch and what you're, you know, releasing into the world this week and how you're supporting other women in business?
Well, something I wanted to share, because some people have jumped on like a little bit later, and we have talked a little bit about brand, but we just want to make it clear, we're talking, I focus on personal brand, and the photo shoots that we've been doing are personal brand. And even if you have a product business, you can still have a personal brand. Like people want to work with people. People want to connect with people. And you are not going to be walking around at a networking event or out in public holding up your product all the time.
Yes.
So you want people to associate you, if you have a product business, with your product. And so it's actually a process of raising the profile of your person, of you as a person, whilst raising the profile of your business. So that then people associate you with your business and you as a person. They're like, oh, they're really awesome as a business owner, but I also really like their product. Like, we don't just want to be like, here's my business, here's my business. Oh, don't look at me, don't look at me. Because then what if you ever decide to do something different, or you want to get some traction or get some media or get some support, and people are like, oh, is that you? Like, who even runs that business? And we can think of some great brands who've done that well, like Boost Juice and Janine. We've right now the name's escaping me. Janine from Boost Juice.
Ellis, yeah,
that's the one. Richard Branson and Virgin Australia. Like, there are brands where there's like, the business exists, which is great and has its own brand, but the person is also there and they're strong and they have their own brand. So I focus on the personal brand.
That's just smart business, right? You are your best and cheapest ambassador. You could spend thousands of dollars on influencers who come and go, or you can invest in your own personal brand that's going to be with you for your entire life. Could even be longer than your actual business, because if you do have plans to sell that business, then, you know, your personal brand is the only thing you're left with. So it's an absolutely, you know, for women in business, it's a smart strategic move. And as women, we always need to be thinking ahead of the future, of building up today the assets that we're going to need tomorrow. So I totally agree with you. I love how you shared that.
Yeah. And so what I do is I'm teaching people how to live and love their brand. And really, essentially, that is you. And so a lot of the work we do, and it comes up in the photo shoots too, is that confidence piece. And it's like, who am I and what am I even trying to say? And because in life, as you know, Jade, being a mother, being a business owner, doing all the things, we can try to be all the things, or we think we have to talk about all the things, got all these roles and titles, to the point where we get lost behind it all, and we actually don't know how to clearly communicate what we're about. And you're not able to, someone ask you and you're like, oh, I do this and I do that, and like I do things, and you just don't even know where to start, because it's all sort of muddled over here, or you're so out of practice of, you're used to putting everyone else forward but not yourself. So this is about being confident in yourself and being comfortable and knowing that you are the selling point and you are the thing that's going to drive this business or your career or your opportunities forward. So when you get to that point of like getting to know you and going, well, this is what I'm going to talk about, and this is what I'm going to highlight, and this is what I'm going to showcase, that's when the opportunities can come to you. The more you are you, the more things will, the right things come. The right things will come to you.
Absolutely. I love something you said there, which was about, you know, we love this in other people. Like when we see it around, we're like, oh, she's, you know, she's so amazing. I love how she speaks, or I love how she, and yet, oh, I could never do that. It's such a funny thing. We ascribe that it's easy for everyone else but us. And so what I love to share with my personal journey is it's never been easy. It's never like comfortable to come up on camera. It is never like, I never, you know, had my bio photo be as vibrant as it is. I think I changed it like in March this year, because for the 7 years beforehand on Instagram, I'd been hiding behind a logo exactly like everyone else. So I think the thing that we're saying today is that I'm in the arena. I'm practicing it as I preach it. I'm seeing the results from it. I've grown 50,000 followers in the last 90 days. So all these little bits of information, the time is ready for you to step into your power, to step into your brand, to own your story, and then to use it to attract people to you. And if you don't, you'll be leaving assets on the table. And as a small business in a competitive world, you know, we don't have the bandwidth or the capacity to do that. You've got to use every tool in your toolkit.
And I love that you said that, you know, we are here and people think, oh, well, it's easy for Jade. She's got nearly 90,000 followers. It's easy for Emma. She's a personal branding coach. She knows what she's doing. I am here on the journey with you. Jade knows I'm trying new things every day. I'm learning about Reels. I'm currently learning about TikTok, like, because we are showing up for our audience. Like, I'm trying and failing at TikTok, but we're trying and we're doing it in public. You know, we're doing it in this messy space. But if you don't practice your message, if you don't practice showing up with who you are, if you don't try things out, how can you know if it's working or not? You go, people aren't buying from me. Nobody's working with me. Well, are you showing up and saying, here's what I have,
what I
here's
can do?
who I am?
Exactly. Yeah. If people aren't, you know, buying from you, if you're not seeing those sales, then the question is, where are you showing up? You know, are you, exactly as you said, we have these expectations up here of, I'm going to, you know, build my website and everything's going to come. And then we're like, how much are you showing up? And it's like down here. And you're like, well, you got to manage those expectations. And also you need a community and a cheerleader in your corner. And when you find that person, you just stand really close to them and let their kind of energy rub off on you, and don't feel like you have to be constantly pushing the rock up the hill all by yourself, right? That's what we exist for, to support each other when our energy is low, when we're flagging, when we don't know what to do in front of the camera. Well, guess what? I know what you should do, so I'll tell you. And that's the kind of benefit of being connected with a community of women who have your back.
Absolutely. And I'm absolutely about that, because it's not just you. You don't have to do this alone. And this is hard, deep work. This is big work. I don't sugarcoat that. This is like, who am I? I always ask that question at the start of my podcast or interviews. Who are you? And people can like freak out at that. When people are asked to write about themselves, which is why I'm doing a webinar tonight on how to write a bio, people don't know how, but you need it. If you ever got offered the opportunity to speak, to write an article or present a masterclass, or even to come on a live, I say, can you tell me a little bit about you so I could share that? I'm asking for 100 words, and people are like, I don't know what to say. It's because we haven't done that work. We haven't looked at ourselves. And then you are confused as to why people don't understand what you're trying to say. It's like, because you don't know what you're trying to say. You don't know what you're trying to communicate. If you haven't sat and done that work, this is foundation work. This is the beginning. You can't then expect to go to someone like Jade, or a graphic designer, or a copywriter, or a marketing specialist, or a social media person, and just go, get it out there. Because they're like, well, what are we saying?
Exactly.
What do you want to say? Who do you want to talk to?
You know, I work with people all the time, and the thing I say is, you know, a photo shoot is a big investment, not just of your money, but also of your time and most importantly, your energy, particularly for a woman when in business, when you have so much going on. You know, having that energy, and the camera sees confidence, it sees energy, it sees radiance, it zeroes in on that. So you want to be bringing the maximum that you can in front of the camera. And the thing is, you don't want to waste that time. Like, you want to be thinking about your story. You want to be stepping in front of the camera like once every 18 months, once every 5 years. You know, you want to kind of max that out. And I remember hearing from Elle Macpherson, and she was like, yeah, I made my calendar 18 months long so that I didn't have to get in front of the camera and do a photo shoot. Like, and I was like, oh my God, Elle Macpherson, like, is, you know, we think that some people love the camera. No, it's challenging for everyone. So when you are going to make that commitment and that investment, make sure you think it through. Make sure you've worked with someone like Emma to zero in on your story that is most true for you, that is most magnetic for your potential clients, and then come and work with me, and we can smash out in 60 minutes the best photos of your life the best experience of your life and set you up for boosting your business in the next 5 years to come. It's not rocket science. It's simply a commitment, knowing the right people, and bringing it to life, making it happen.
Absolutely. And something that does happen though, and like we've talked about, is like you're going to make tweaks. And so I think the difference is like I could totally, and I do, write bios for clients. But it's like if I write your bio, then when things change and you shift and it doesn't feel like you anymore, then in 6 months or a year or whatever, you've got to come back to me and I've got to write it again. Or you've got to go back to a writer and write it again. You've got to get those things done again. What I'm doing is teaching people the process of writing your messaging. Like, how do you write about yourself? How do you get that information? How do you tap back into that? Like, what makes me me? How do you discover your target audience? We go through all of that stuff. How do you do a brand audit? How do you check in with, how am I going? Like, where am I at? We go through that process. I also give a structure for content on how to create your own content, how to manage your content. I think that, Jade, that's something that comes up. Like, how are you putting out so much stuff? Like, I have a process, we have a system, we have, like, I do have support, I'll say that. I've had VAs and things, but I've trained them using my system of the content that we create. But I know what I'm going to create. I write the messaging, I tell them what I want to say, then we create it, and so that people will resonate with it. And so it's like having the tools and the structures so that you can then consistently show up, not just going out and going, bam, 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 all this content, I've got a bunch of photos, boom, and then going, oh, I'm really tired, I'm not going to do anything for the next few months because I've got to try and think of all these ideas again. It's how do I, whatever looks like consistency for you. Is it once a week? Is it twice a week? Jade and I obviously are a bit more, probably have a bit more volume, but you don't have to do what we're doing. You have to find what is possible and sustainable for a long-term career and life and brand, and that could be twice a week if that's for you. However you want to show up, wherever you want to show up, you've got to decide that. We can't tell you.
Yeah, it's a co-creation. That's how I describe it. It's something that we work together on. It's neither one of us, doing it on our own. It's both of us coming together. And when that synergy happens, that's when the magic happens. So I've had the best time with you, Emma. I've got to duck off because you've got to make that content that we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Is there any final questions from anyone? I'd love to answer any questions. I had a question before about highlights. I wanted to thank you for your question about highlights. Yeah, I have an interesting view on highlights, and I'm sure Emma will share hers. For anyone who doesn't know, highlights are those kind of big circles underneath your bio on your Instagram profile before you get to your content. And I think they should be used very strategically and innovatively. A lot of people just chuck all any old random story and pack them out, and then no one ever looks at them. I have very specific highlights related to my 3 very specific products. I have a start here highlight that tells you about me. I have a grow fast highlight, and I think I have one more highlight, and I can't remember what it is right now. But if you go to my account and check it out, you will see it. So definitely feel free to, do something different with your highlights. Think outside the box. Don't just feel it has to be a dumping ground for old stories. But if you have questions and you want the practical steps to take to build your highlights, you've got to come join my Instagram Growth Club. I'm actually just ducking off now to share content in the club. Em is part of the club, and the club has the energy in the club's lifted 500% since you joined, Em. So I'm
posting every day. I'm give me your ideas. That's the thing. We're still collaborating. We're still creating ideas. So thank you so much, Jade. You'll see more of us. We'll be doing things together. Yes. But I appreciate you and all of your support. The other thing that is in business, we need support. We need other people to work with. And I'm so grateful for that. So thank you for all the energy you bring.
Me too. I'm loving your launch. I'm loving the energy you're bringing. And so is everyone else. You can see it in the comments. Everyone DMs me and oh my God, Em's so amazing. She does this. And it's so wonderful to see that, how the impact that you're making. So thanks, guys. Holler at me if you want anything in the DMs, and I'll see you around. Thanks, Em. Have a great day.
Bye. All right. Thanks so much, Jade. Okay. Well, so you're going to see more from me. Thank you for joining, everyone. If you are interested in the course at all, link in bio, How to Live and Love Your Brand course. The launch is happening now. It's on for 8 days. Well, this is the second day of 8. So keep showing up, keep coming, ask questions, keep posting. If you're catching the replay, please ask any questions. Come on over in the DMs. If you want to jump on a call, I'd love that. Also, I've got a webinar tonight, how to write a bio. So if you want to start writing about yourself and you're not sure how, that's a really great place to start. As I said, Jade has been an amazing support to me. I'm loving creating content with her and powering off these ideas. And we are here to support women to show up and anyone who wants to watch the content. So thank you so much. I'll catch you tomorrow for another live. Hi, LinkedIn. Thank you for being here, and see you later.